Hey everyone, Rockin Robbie Billups here for Pop Culture Philosophers, and it is the best time of the week, Wednesday, time for the weekly comic book review. That's right, gang. Weekly comic book review, what I read this week, what I thought about it, and we always start with the pick of the week. This week's pick of the week, Cave Carson has a cybernetic eye, number 3. Has it just been me, or does it seem like it's been a long time since we had some DC Young Animal? That's right, 4 books, usually only on 3 out of the 4 weeks in the month. Anyway, there was an extra week. Doom Patrol's running a little bit late. Cave Carson's here, though, and Cave Carson, number 3, is a treat. If you haven't been reading this book, or any of the other Young Animal books, Doom Patrol, Mother Panic, Shade the Changing Girl, Cave Carson, check out Cave Carson. Definitely going to recommend Cave Carson over the others if you are a more traditional DC superhero type fan. This stuff is great. If you like anything that's like retro, like 50s, 60s feel, superhero-y adventure stuff, Cave Carson is it. It's got crazy zany art by Michael Avon Oeming. Of course, it's written by John Rivera and Gerard Way. It's got amazing, brilliant colors. It's a super, super cool, out there story, very nostalgic. Super, super fun, guys. I cannot talk about this book enough. Seriously, check out Cave Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye. It's the greatest sci-fi spelunking adventure comic book that you didn't even know that you wanted, but now you have it, and there it is. Also, we got a big release from DC this week. Justice League versus Suicide Squad, number 1. Justice League, I'm down. Suicide Squad, I actually used to be a huge Suicide Squad fan when I was younger back in the day, and when the New 52 happened and they started introducing Harley Quinn into the Suicide Squad, I really stopped liking the Suicide Squad. So I was really nervous about this book. I didn't really get how it was going to work. I mean, seriously, Justice League versus Suicide Squad, that fight's over in 2 seconds. But the first issue was pretty solid. I liked it. Harley didn't completely annoy me. Captain Boomerang was quite annoying, though. Seriously, I wish someone would kill him off for about the 4th or 5th time. Anyway, this book's pretty cool. It's all right. It's pretty good as far as event comics go. I don't know. If you're a big Suicide Squad fan, you're going to love it. Justice League guys, you're going to love it too, but I mean, Justice League's going to kick their ass, right? Like, straight up. Straight up. Anyway, Grant Morrison. I'm a huge Grant Morrison fan. Claws. A new Claws one-shot just in time for Christmas. Claws and the Witch of Winter. It has amazing art by Dan Mora. If you haven't read the Claws book, or some people say Klaus, but I think Claus because Santa Claus, right? Or Santa Claus, whatever. This book's great. If you haven't read the previous series and you just want to check it out, you can read this and it's really cool. The original series that came out, last year and this year is better than this. This is okay. Like it's really good. It's a good, fun little Christmas tale, and I hope that they do one of these every year. That would be fantastic. So Morrison and Morrison. Wow, that's funny. But if you're listening, see, every single year, let's have one of these. But Claws is a really good book. Dan Mora's art is fantastic. It's a new reinterpretation of the Santa Claus myth, and it is awesome. Super, super cool. Speaking of awesome and super, super cool, Jim and the Holograms, The Misfits, number 1. That's right. The Misfits get their own limited comic book series. I love Jim and the Holograms. Kelly Thompson has been killing it on Jim and the Holograms, period. Like, the writing, the art is so colorful, it's poppy, it's fashionable, it's relevant, it's good. I really, really like it. So now the Misfits, who are typically the villains in the Jim and the Holograms universe, get their own book. It's great. If you've been following Jim, you know that the Misfits are kind of on the outs right now in the record industry. They don't have a label. No one wants to touch them. They're kind of, ostracized from everybody. This is about them trying to figure out what their next step is, and maybe it has something to do with a reality TV show. I don't know. Anyway, Jim and the Holograms is a fantastic book. If you don't believe me, get trade paperback 1, link down below. Seriously, buy it, read it, tell me I'm wrong. Most people that I have gotten to read that book absolutely love it. A new one from Dark Horse Comic, Dead Inside, number 1. This book's all right. It's kind of a cool little murder mystery. I don't know. It's okay. The art is the most appealing part of this to me. Now, a lot of people are not going to like the art in here because it's very unique. It's very different. It's really cool. I really like this book, though. The coloring is really cool, but the story's all right. Like, it doesn't really hook you till the very end, and it's enough of a hook that maybe you'll pick up issue number 2 if it comes out on a week when not a lot of other stuff comes out. So ultimately, the art's really cool, but I think it's kind of forgettable. But that's just me. The Mighty Captain Marvel #1. That's right, Marvel Comics has some new #1s. Actually, this is number 0, not #1. Number 0, this is kind of cool. If you're unfamiliar with Carol Danvers as in Captain Marvel, read this. It will get you caught up, let you know what's going on now, her origin, the new status quo, how things are going, what it feels like in a Captain Marvel story. If you've ever been interested in the character, check this out. Fans and new fans alike, seriously, it's pretty solid. It's good, fun Marvel superhero comics. It is kind of aftermathy from Civil War II, and that's not quite over, but needless to say, she's super popular. She's dealing with this new rise in fame. The same fame she's going to have when they put her in a Marvel Studios movie, I guarantee it. People are going to flip. This is where you get in on the ground floor, and that #1 will be coming out very soon, but the number 0 is really cool. Another new #1, an actual #1 from Marvel, Gamora. Now, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. Like, it's a good, solid movie. I was never the biggest Guardians fan in the comics, right? Well, I don't know. Since the movie, they annoy me more. The Guardians of the Galaxy annoy me now. It's overkill. Like, seriously, at this point, every member of the Guardians pretty much has an ongoing series. Anyway, Gamora #1 was quite surprising. It goes back into the past, tells a little bit about her origins, a little bit about her backstory. If you're not super familiar with the character and want to get to know her comic book origins, check it out. It's pretty solid. It's not bad, but it could be a whole lot better. But that's what I think. Star-Lord #1. Now, Star-Lord really annoys me most times in the comics. I love Chris Pine. I think his performance in the movie is solid. But this is the first Star-Lord book, like solo Star-Lord book, that I actually enjoyed. I liked it. Okay, so there you go. At the end of Civil War II, the Guardians, their spaceship gets destroyed. So they're grounded on Earth. They're stuck on Earth. And this is a cool little tale about Star-Lord being alone on Earth, and he's like never there, so he doesn't know anybody, doesn't have anything to do. I found it to be very enjoyable, very fun. I don't know, I might read issue 2. Seriously, it was a Star-Lord book that I liked, and if you know me, that's a big deal, guys. Check it out. Thanos. Other books from Marvel. Thanos #2 came out. It wasn't quite sold on #1, and 2 has lost me even more, guys. I don't know, Deodato's art is okay at times, and sometimes it's just so weird and awkward, and like, seriously, you just freeze-framed an image of Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy and copied it, and that's fine or whatever, but I don't know, it's disjointed. There's pieces of it I really like and pieces of it I can't stand. The story is all right. There's a lot of Thanos and his family in here, so you meet some members of his family and a new cabal of people gathered together to take out Thanos, and so it's all right. If you're a huge Thanos guy, like a lot of people are, check it out by all means. Amazing Spider-Man #22. Now, last week they had the big revelation. If you haven't read it, stop watching for just a few seconds. Ben Reilly is back. Ben Reilly is back. He is the Jackal. This tells you the story of how that came to be. And it's pretty messed up. I'm just going to say, Miles, you done did wrong. Not Morales, but Warren, right? Anyway, Invincible Iron Man #2. I really liked issue #1, and I really liked issue #2. This has been really, really cool. There was a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype online and stuff, but like personally in my life, in my story, there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, that's the Riri book. Dudes, read this book. It's really, really good. So far, 2 issues in, and it's really awesome. I really like it. It's probably right now the best Bendis book right now, but it's just 2 issues in, but I'm liking it a lot. The character of Riri is really appealing and engaging, and there's good stuff in here. There's action, there's comedy, there's tragedy, there's drama. There's a lot of good stuff in here, and it's only been 2 issues, and not a lot has happened, but it's been very, very engaging and thrilling. Some DC books. Batman #13. Now, 2 weeks ago, Tom King's Batman, I felt, finally just hit that point. This is a little bit on a lower point, but it's not a bad issue. It's actually a pretty good, solid issue that wraps up the I Am Suicide story. Sets up some really cool Bane stuff for the future, absolutely. So, Tom King's Batman #13 was really cool. So now, dude, we're really looking at what you're going to give us in the next arc, because it's make or break time. Plus, this has got a tie-in to that Justice League versus Suicide Squad. I would recommend you read this before you read the Justice League versus Suicide Squad. I did not do that, and I wish I would have. So, just saying. Superman, #13. It's the conclusion of that super monster story with the Frankenstein, Agent of Shade. Big, fun, super explosion, cool little fun story. Nothing super significant. In fact, it's not even really a Superman book. It's a Frankenstein book. But it's all right. It's solid. It's got some different inking. It's got a couple different inkers in here, and it makes Doug Mahnke's artwork look a little inconsistent, not as detailed in some pages as others. It's a little jarring. But the book is pretty fun, and it's just a good little fun story. But we are building up to Superman Reborn, and I'm super excited for that. And finally, I'm going to talk about Aquaman number 13. I'm going to talk about Aquaman because I read Aquaman because I'm a huge Aquaman fan. And my buddy, John Hammertime Holshoe, partner here at PCP, said, why don't you ever talk about Aquaman? Because right now, honestly, don't think it's the greatest comic book. It's okay. It's pretty decently solid. But right now, the story is kind of cool. But really, if you think about it, it's just like a bunch of other Aquaman stories that have come way before, like Throne of Atlantis, for instance, is one that's, like people know Throne of Atlantis because of the cartoon. They read this, they're like, oh, it's a rehash of the same thing, almost, in a way. But it's all right. Like, if you're ever interested in Aquaman, the book right now is okay. When Brad Walker's on the artwork, it's really solid. Sometimes it gets inconsistent. This is Scott Eaton doing this one, and it's all right. But it's not the greatest thing, but it's solid. It's okay. So, John, I talked about Aquaman, and so there you go. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know down below, what did you read this week? What did you pick up? What did you love? What did you hate? I'm dying to know. Let's get the conversation going. Please do like and share this video with all of your comic book buddies. And thank you. And be sure to subscribe because we do these things every week. And join us at popculturephilosophers.com for podcast blogs, top 5 lists, and a whole lot more. I'm Rockin Robbie. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.